Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
From the 612 Injured, High Merle and Lammers Injury Law Traffic Center.
Good morning. We have a jackknife semi on 94 eastbound at Radio Drive on the right shoulder. 94 slow eastbound from Maple Grove Parkway to Weaver Lake. 694 with delays eastbound from Rice to 35E. I'm Maria Arnold, and that's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Meineke. Meineke, your one-stop shop for total car care with over 50 years of experience and financing options that let you fix now and pay over time. You can trust your keys with Meineke. Engines, brakes, tires, oil. Meineke, doing car care right.
Now live on streaming video, KDWB's Dave Ryan Show is now on YouTube every morning starting at 7 a.m. Just search Dave Ryan TV.
It is KDWB. Shout out to everybody at Cub Foods. Jenny and I went out there on Friday afternoon. We had a great time kind of hanging out and meeting people. So
super fun.
That was kind of cool. There was these 2 girls that came by with their dad. They were probably, 8 and 14 or something like that. And Dad was like, I just love you guys. Let's love you guys. And the girls were kind of like, Dad, you're so embarrassing.
That's not true, because the dad said that when he picks them up from school and stuff, they're like, put KDWB on. But I think that they were embarrassed by
were still like, nah. Anyway, if you go to my picture number 1 of my Weekend in 5 photos, I'm doing a little magic trick for them. I got a little smile out of them. So, what I'm doing tonight, I'm judging a Boy Scout, or it's not Boy Scout, it's just Scout, a Scout cook-off. I'm judging a Scout cook-off tonight.
That sounds so fun, Dave. What are they cooking?
I don't know, but I'm going to guess that if I know Scouts, it's probably got a little bit of bark in it, some tree leaves.
Yeah.
The dish they're cooking in has still got soap left over from not washing it right. Listen, I was in Boy Scouts. I was a Scout leader for years. Watching those kids cook, you just could smell the salmonella in the air. It was like, okay, you just see the boys in Philmont washing dishes. It was disgusting. They would wipe out a bowl full of crap, dip it in some soapy water, and wipe it out with a towel. I'm like,
They even rinse it?
No wonder y'all got diarrhea.
And this might be a stupid question. Since it's Scouts, are you actually judging the food, or are you judging like the way they prepare everything?
I'm just judging them as people.
That's typical. That's not just
you're awfully tall. You need a haircut. I think I'm judging the food. I'm not really sure.
You're just going for the vibe.
It should be fun. Anyway,
I'm excited for you.
It'll be fun. Let's play a little game here. It's called Think Fast. By the way, really quick, I need to let you know. We're giving away the weekend tickets coming up at 7:35 this morning, but a bonus win time at 8:35 this morning. Just found out about this one, 8:35 this morning and 7:35. This is the contest where basically you go to Instagram, you follow 1013 KDWB, and then you post anything. You can post Happy Monday, or you can post Monday Sucks, and then you get to tag anybody at all. Then listen to KDWB at 7:35 and 8:35. We call a name. If it's your name, you then call us at 651-989-KDWB. So go do that right now for a chance to win 7:35 and 8:35 from KDWB. Show is what, this weekend?
It is the Saturday.
Okay. Let's play a little game here on KDWB. It's called Think Fast.
Mm-hmm.
Is basically who's playing whom today.
I've got, sorry, Jenny, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say
you
Dave
go.
and
No,
Vaughn.
you go. You guys stop being so polite. Be more
Dave
like
and
me.
Vaughn can play.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
All right, let's do it.
And I'm
Come on,
hosting.
you little B word. Let's go.
All right. So the whole goal of this game, obviously, is to be the first one who has the answer. Okay. So I have done grocery store Think Fast, and we're doing it again. All right. You're going to give me a fruit. Okay. A fruit that starts with the letter C.
Cranberry.
Cranberry.
Oh.
Dave's on the board with cranberry.
Okay.
All right, Vaughn. Get your head in game
Yeah, let me
here.
get my thinking cap on.
Okay. A fruit that starts with the letter P.
Peach.
Peach, Dave.
You
with
say
peach.
Peloton?
I was going to say pear and plum, and I said pear.
It sounds like Peloton to me.
Okay, give me a fruit that starts with the letter M.
Mango. There's
Ooh,
Dave.
Dave with mango. Dang, Dave is on a roll here. He loves fruit. Give me a fruit that starts with the letter L.
Lemon.
Lemon. Vaughn's on the board. Congratulations. We're moving on from fruit.
Oh, man. I was waiting for S. I was
Sorry?
just strawberry for everything you were going to say.
We're at a different spot in the grocery store now. Something in the dried goods aisle.
What's a dried good? Like rice and stuff?
Hands.
Just think about
Tuna.
the dried goods aisle. Yep.
I
Starts
don't
with-
We don't know what that is.
I've never
You'll
heard
know.
of a dried goods
Yes,
aisle
you
in
have.
my life.
You have.
Canned goods?
No, dried goods. Dried goods.
All
Like
right.
think things in bags. Okay, something in the dried goods aisle that starts with the letter O.
Oatmeal.
There you go, Dave. That's
Oh.
what's in dried
All
goods
right.
aisle.
I've never heard the word dried goods in my life.
Well, you learn something every day. Something in the dried goods aisle that starts with the letter G.
Gouda.
Granola. I don't know what I'm saying.
You had it.
Granola?
Yeah,
That's what I
but
was going to say. But I'm like,
granella is not a word. All right.
And you can't give Dave Gouda.
No, I'm not giving Dave Gouda. Something in the dried goods aisle that starts with the letter R.
Rice.
rigatoni.
Rice.
Ooh.
Rigatoni
Yes.
was a good one. That's a pasta, right?
Yes. It's a type of noodle. Yeah.
All right. Something in the dried goods aisle that starts with the letter N.
Noodles.
Ooh, Vaughn with noodles. Wow, that was almost a tie.
By
but
the
I
way, if you
heard-
want to watch this excitement unfold, we are on video on YouTube. Dave Ryan TV. You can watch this unfold on video.
All right, we're moving on to the snack aisle.
Ooh, okay. I'm in the game now.
Something in the snack aisle that starts with the letter L.
Lay's chips.
Licorice.
Well, both
That
of those
was
would
too
be
slow.
things, but they were too slow.
Sorry.
Yes. Licorice. All right, something in the snack aisle that starts with the letter C.
Candy.
Chips.
Ooh, candy. Dave, you are at game point now. Vaughn, you have 2. You're still in. You're still in the game. All right, something in the snack aisle that starts with the letter S.
Sandwich. No, it's a sandwich in a snack aisle.
Salsa.
Sun chips.
Yay, Jenny.
Jeez.
1 point for Jenny. All right, something in the snack aisle that starts with the letter G.
Granola bars.
All right, I'll give that to you. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Vaughn has 3, Dave has 6. We're moving on from the snack aisle. Now we are in the meat section of the grocery store.
Oh, I love this one.
Something in the meat section that starts with the letter S.
Salmon.
Salmon. Dave wins.
Is that really the meat section, though?
Yeah, there's fish in the meat section.
Well, like the meat department.
Yeah, the meat
Okay.
department.
Well, steak would have been a better answer.
Yeah, steak, salami, salmon.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to be quiet while you play this game with your kids in the car or you by yourself or whoever you're around. Just yell out the answer when you come up with it.
All right, we are still in the meat department here. Something in the meat department that starts with the letter R. David.
Ribeye.
Ooh, ribeye. Very nice.
Roast.
Roast.
Rump roast.
Mmm.
See, I'm good at this game whenever I can sit and think about
Yes.
it. Roast beef.
Yes. Something in the meat section that starts with the letter T. Font.
Tilapia?
Tilapia, sure. Turkey, things like
T-bone.
that. T-bone, nice. All right, last one here. Something in the meat section that starts with the letter B. Jennifer.
Well, I had bologna, but I don't think that counts.
Yeah, that counts.
Not really, because that would be deli.
Well, works. It's me.
What else?
Dave, what do you think?
A bee meat.
Yeah.
Beef.
Big old
Beef.
steak.
Big
Beef.
old
Just
steak.
beef.
Breast.
Bratwurst.
Chicken breast.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, there you go.
Breast, Come on, chicken.
A grocery store. Think fast. Ba-boom.
Brought
All
to you
right.
by Northern
Thank-
1 Hour Heating.
Thank you, Northern 1 Hour. All right, that is it. We'll be back in a second. We're going to be 1 hour commercial free on KDWB. So take us to the gym, take us in your car, wherever you're going to take us. We would be honored to go along with you with the Dave Ryan Show on KDWB. We're going to play Hat of Vulnerability. One of us will be chosen from a hat. It is a hat with slips of paper that have our names. We will choose one. That person is off. They're off the hook. The last name remaining in the hat has got to tell something very vulnerable. And we'll do it next on Hat of Vulnerability. Weekend tickets coming up at 7:35. We're going to check in with the guy. Remember last week, he said he was going to try to win his girlfriend back by going to her office after she dumped him with flowers and tickets to Scottsdale. He has agreed to talk to us coming up at 7:36, right after we do the weekend on KDWB.
My name is Jackie.
Look at you. You're a winner.
Hello. Hello. That's my daughter, Sierra. And
Congratulations.
Sammy, enjoy yourself. Have a great time at the weekend, and thank you for listening to KDWB.
oh my God, thank you. Oh my God.
This is the weekend. We're back with tickets to see the weekend. Win every weekday at 7:35 with the Dave Ryan Show and 4:35 with Fallon and Colt. Follow KDWB on Instagram. Get entered and keep us as your #1 preset on the iHeartRadio app to win the summer of 2020 live from 101.3 KDWB.
iHeartRadio's partners at Global Citizen, along with FIFA, just announced that J Balvin, Doja Cat, and Thames will headline the first ever FIFA Club World Cup halftime show, curated by Chris Martin of Coldplay, in support of the FIFA Global Citizen Education Fund, a landmark initiative to raise $100 million to provide access to quality education and soccer for children around the world. $1 from every ticket sold to FIFA Club World Cup 2025 matches in the United States this summer will be donated to the FIFA Global Citizen Education Fund. Get all the info at iHeartRadio.com/global citizen.
From the Custom One, MN.com Weather Center.
The week's starting off a little bit cooler. We'll see a few showers this morning, cloudy the rest of the day, a high of 66. Warming up quite a bit tomorrow, partly sunny, a high of 83.
This report is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Find seafood savings at Whole Foods Market. Get 20% off sustainable wild-caught fresh halibut fillets with Prime through June 10th. Grill this light, delicious fish with roasted veggies on the side. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
Hey, it's Jenny. Here's a straightforward thought inspired by straightforward pricing with home internet from AT&T. High-speed internet isn't just nice to have anymore. It's a necessity. But that doesn't mean your provider should hold all the cards. Ever signed up for internet at one price only to see it mysteriously change 12 months later? AT&T doesn't pull that trick. No more provider hopping just to avoid surprise hikes. And if you've ever been burned by equipment fees, here's some good news. You don't have to put up with that. For a bill that actually makes sense and is straightforward, you can get straightforward pricing with home internet from AT&T. Straightforward is better. Geographic and service restrictions apply to AT&T internet services. Visit att.com/internet for details. That's att.com/internet.
KDWB-FM, Richfield, Minneapolis, St. Paul, an iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
When something happens to your car, you might say,
My car.
but what you really need to say is something that can actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And just like that, State Farm is there to help you file your claim right on the State Farm mobile app. So just remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
Welcome back to the Dog Show. Up next, we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right, a group known especially for their couch snuggling, ball chasing, face licking, and of course, companionship. Now let's see him in action.
Look how he makes eye contact with his person.
That's actually known as the treat stare.
How intuitive, and now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles.
Ah, the happy dance so common with this group.
But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This summer, are you ready to climb to the top? Gear up for Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Every sip gets you closer to the summit. Now through August 17th, play each day for free in the Quick Rewards app and score bonus plays with every eligible item you grab. Like an ice cold Pepsi, bold Mountain Dew, hydrating Gatorade or Propel, sparkling bubbler, smooth Starbucks, refreshing Pure Leaf for the high voltage taste of Rockstar. Grab one of those with hot food and earn 2 bonus plays. Yeah, and here's where it gets more intense. Every week, someone's cashing in. Each week, the cash prize climbs by $5,000, stacking higher and higher till one player reaches the top, scoring the ultimate prize, $250,000 cash money. Open your Quick Rewards app and get climbing for a chance to win, because this summer, the view from the top is worth every play. Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Your summer, your climb, your win. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents residing in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, South Dakota, North Dakota, or Wisconsin. Ends August 17th. Bonus plays require qualifying purchase. See full rules at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
Caroline Barrega had it all: a loving husband, thriving kids, and meaningful work. Then, her police officer husband's secret infidelity and abuse
you take me to Walmart, then you're not my dad. If you take me to Walmart, then you're not my dad. HOLLISTER, yeah. HOLLISTER. There's a store, Dad, down at the mall, and you can smell it from way down the hall, 'cause they spray stuff on all their clothes down at Hollister. Oh, spend it, Hollister. Hollister, down at Hollister. Hollister. All their clothes are super cute, tees and tanks and camis too. Mom, can I please have a few bucks so I don't look like you? Employees all drink Caribou, either that or Jamba Juice. Take me, I'll be nice to you. All the gay guys shop there too. American Eagles over with, they're just so 2006. You can go but don't come in, 'cause you're so embarrassing. Me and my friends buy their clothes, then we grab our camera phones, strike an inappropriate pose, and put the pictures on MySpace. Hollister, down at Hollister.
Oh my God, Allison, give me a break. We're on a beer budget, you got champagne taste. I'm taking you to Penny's and then over to Pomida. You ain't wearing clothes that show off your booty. If you want to go to college, then you better well acknowledge that we gotta save some money. So what's wrong with dressing funny? I don't want to make you mad, but Walmart really ain't that bad.
If you take me to Walmart, then you're not my dad. Dad, can you give me $150?
What do you need $150 for?
I'm going to Hollister.
Hollister? They got great stuff down at Kmart. We're getting in the car. We're going to Kmart. Let's go.
Kmart? Just give me your wallet.
Faraway places.
Are we there yet?
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Summer drives start here.
This week on Dear Chelsea with me, Chelsea Handler. Maren Morris is here. You came out of a marriage and you had a huge growth spurt.
I was expanding and growing at a really fast pace. You could throw motherhood and postpartum, learning about myself. There were a lot of identity crises going on, but I realized I can't look back and slow down for people.
Listen to Dear Chelsea on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Dear Chelsea and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Hear the Dave Ryan Show on the radio, on the iHeartRadio app, and watch on YouTube. Dave Ryan TV from KDWB.
Jenny, you know what you'd look good on?
What, Dave?
A red motorcycle. You want to buy a red motorcycle?
What do you mean?
I got 2 of them for sale. I'm selling 2 motorcycles.
Oh.
And we put them on Facebook Marketplace. First thing is is this still available? Which, hearing from you, that's a dumb thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
Why would somebody say, is this still available? And why is that a dumb thing again?
Because that means that they're not actually interested. It's usually spam. It's usually people who aren't willing to come look at it anytime soon.
Okay.
They're just testing the waters. Or usually if they say that, they literally you will never hear from them again. When you say, yeah, it's available.
Never hear from them again.
So you should put in your caption, I will not respond to, is it still available? And that weeds out, I'd say 60% of the people there's still 40% that still send you that message.
Okay. All right. Because we're not really very well versed on Facebook Marketplace. But Bailey, you know what you look good on?
What?
A red motorcycle.
Why are you selling?
Because we don't ride them anymore. I mean, there's 2 that we don't ride.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
So
I literally saw a sign yesterday as I was driving that said sign this way, looking for old motorcycles. And I thought, oh, Dave. And I was like, nah, he only has 1. Stupid. I should have taken a picture of it. If I see it again, I will. And I'll send it to you.
Those people usually want to pay $80 for a motorcycle that you want to charge $4,000 for. Vaughn, you know what you and Alyssa would look good on?
What's that?
Red
Dave?
motorcycle.
You know what's funny? We were going to get... No. Jenny gave me a crash course on Facebook Marketplace over the weekend because we're selling a couch, and I texted Jenny hey...
Jenny's the expert.
Yes, I was like, Jenny, what do we do? Jenny sent me 3 text messages. I was like, okay. I put my phone down. I came back, and then there's 7 more messages from Jenny about say this in the caption, say it comes from smoke-free and animal-free, say it's comfy, say you guys barely used it. She was giving me the tips.
Well, yeah, people want to know what's the backstory, especially with furniture, because furniture's it's one of those things you don't want to bring into your house and there's bed bugs.
Or smoky smell.
Right, or smoke. A lot of people will not buy furniture if they know that there is an animal in the house. So it's helpful when, for sure there's no animal in the house. But yeah, I just gave him a bunch of tips, but I did bombard him with 20 tips in a row. And he comes back and he's like, geez, I literally feel like I need to pay you for this.
Jenny is the expert. You got any Facebook questions? Let Jenny know. All right, we're going to do a little bit called Hat of Vulnerability. And basically the way this works is we're each going to we have our name in a hat. We'll draw out one name at a time. Each name we draw out, that person is off the hook. The last person we draw out has to come up with something very vulnerable that they've never talked about on the show before. So we kind of really hope it's not us. But at the same time, that's kind of what we do. Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead. Jenny, you can draw the first name.
Shake her up. First name that is not going today is, I grabbed two. Vaunt.
Vaunt is not going today.
Vaunt is not going today.
Okay.
God.
Next one is Bailey.
Okay. That leaves me and you.
Not me.
Okay, I gotta think of something if it's gonna be me. Okay, next name is it me? It's me.
Yeah.
So I am not going.
So it's Daddy Bear.
So that means me. Coming up next, I will tell you, I've got something in mind.
Okay.
And I've not talked about it on the radio before. And it's a little bit embarrassing. It's a little bit too revealing, very vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And you're probably going to think of me as a different person after you hear this story.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're going to look at me in the
We'll
eyes
still
while
love
you
you.
tell it.
Will you still love me?
We'll still love you, Dave.
Yeah, I think you'll still love me. You'll just not respect me anymore.
Oh, great. Well,
we have to respect you to begin with.
Well, then show some once in a while. Okay. We are going to be right back with the vulnerable story, I guess, on KDWB. Favorite part of the show is when Dave was exhaling, sighing heavily.
Well, you're getting ready.
Okay, so it's had a vulnerability. So we tell you a lot of things on the show. You've learned everything from like Jenny's breakup to Bailey's secret that she won't tell us what it is, to Vaunt.
Just existing. There's a big secret to that.
So when we do had a vulnerability, we each have to come up with something we've never talked about on the show that's like a kind of a vulnerable moment. And so mine goes back to a radio station trip to Mexico. Probably 7 or 8 years ago. We took a bunch of listeners down to Mexico, and a bunch of people came along with us. And some were friends of other people on the show. And I'm not going to name any names because they still live here in town. But you know me, I'm kind of like socially awkward. And, like I like hanging around with people, but I get exhausted after a little, like an hour or so. And I'm never like the life of the party. I'm always kind of like, yeah, what do you guys want to do? Okay, cool. I can hold a conversation. I'm not horribly awkward. I mean, we went to dinner the other day. And I'm not horribly awkward to be around. But I'm not a Bailey and I'm not a Jenny. And so I'm kind of like, all right, so we're sitting in the lobby of this hotel. And there's probably about 10 of us from the radio station and Fallon and Steve and some people that somebody brought along. And the engineer and Jeff and whatever. And we're sitting around and we're kind of like having a good time. And Susan and I are there. And I, being socially awkward and dumb, I pulled out a game. I had a little game, like one of those card games, like Cards Against Humanity or something like that. And I pulled out a game and I said, hey, you guys want to play a game? And this woman, who is not part of the station, and if she's listening, she knows exactly who she is. She's very social. She's the life of the party. She's giggly, funny, fun, whatever. I pull out a game and I'm like, hey, you guys want to play a game? And she goes, we're not playing an effing game. We're not Boy Scouts. And I felt so stupid and so small and so incompetent because that was my attempt. I am getting a little emotional. That was my attempt to bring some Dave into this little gathering. And can you imagine how I felt when I tried to bring some of me and was shot down so brutally in front of everybody? We're not playing a game. We're not effing Boy Scouts. And I left. I got up and I'm like, I'm not going to sit here feeling like this. So I got up and I left. And I went to my room and I don't know what I did. But it was awful. Yeah. And it's one of those things that reinforces, like if you are short and you know you're short, and then here comes some doughhead who's like, well, if you weren't so short, it's just a reminder of something that you're not possessing.
But it's also your personality too. So I honestly think it's like worse than like somebody pointing out that you're short, because that's a fact. But if it's your personality and you're just trying to connect with other people and they say, well, the way that you're trying to connect with other people is stupid. And I think what you're into is dumb. Like, well, what? But this is like who I am. Like, that's like the fabric of your person.
And honestly, thank you. And that's one of the things that I don't really go out with groups because it's just not my thing.
Okay, I have a couple questions.
Sure.
Not to take away from your experience because I feel very, very bad for you. That was so wrong. Was this person drunk? Because you're in Mexico.
They were a little bit drunk, but not so drunk that they should have,
And regardless, doesn't matter. Like, you don't say things like that. And the other question was, like, did you know each other well enough for them to, like, even if they were very joking about it and didn't mean it in a mean way whatsoever, did you know this person well enough?
I knew her a little less than I know Tina, for example. So not really well, but sort of.
So definitely inappropriate. Because it's like, I'm trying to like put myself in the position of like, did I make a dumb joke one time and hurt someone's feelings? Whatever.
Oh, we all
and
have,
like,
I'm
right?
sure.
Like you don't mean it in the moment. But still, regardless, that person is not very kind for doing that.
Yeah.
Like that is, I don't know. It's like you got to keep your thoughts to yourself sometimes, even if you like feel like, oh God, I don't want to play a game.
And that
you
was
just
probably
say it out loud.
That was probably the attitude of the group was like, we're not going to play a game, But I thought, okay, well, I'm going to try to contribute something.
Yeah, I would just try and humor you in general. But like, I do, we talk a lot about like people who think that they're being funny. And I think a lot of people try and be like sarcastic and snotty because they think it's funny, or they'll think that they're.
But it's actually mean.
It's actually mean.
I have a family member that's like that.
Right. And I think there's a lot of people who do that, where they'll say like, oh, I'm going to say this snippy thing and it's going to be funny, even though like, because I'm relatable, because I'm saying this like snippy thing. But it's no, you're coming off across as mean, period. That was a mean thing for her to say. And you are valid in your emotions to be upset about it. I would be upset.
And it still comes back to me once in a while. I don't think about it a lot because I'm pretty comfortable with who I am, but it definitely reminded me of who I am not. And that is like, I am not the social leader of any group of people.
That's what sucks. I think there's two layers to it. The fact that it was, hey, do you want to see, this thing that I love, that's your personality. But also, let's just say you were just trying to join the conversation that we're already having. You were probably in your head about like, how do I walk into this situation? And it took a lot of courage for you to do that. So even if you just walked in and said hi and she shut you down, I would have been like, well, damn. Like, oh my gosh, now I feel so little. They think I'm stupid just for saying hi. And we talk also a lot about, how you think people might be looking at you in the gym, or if you're not sitting and talking at a dinner table. And it takes a lot of courage to, have the confidence to be like, I'm going to assert myself, or just not even assert myself, just be. So I'm sorry that we're literally just being, and that wasn't good enough for that person.
Could you say again what she said to you? For folks who are just tuning in.
She said, so just to set it up again, we were at this big radio station gathering in Mexico, big station trip. We flew a bunch of listeners down. We had a great time. And there was one night where we were all with the station and some people that somebody had brought along. And we were all sitting in the lobby around a big square table on couches. And we're all having a good time. And I had brought a game. And I think it might have been Cards Against Humanity, but it might have been something else. And I brought it out and I said, hey, do you guys want to play this? And one of these very, very socially adept people said, we're not playing a blanking game. We're not blanking Boy Scouts. And I was crushed. So you wanted a vulnerable moment. There's your story.
And you didn't say anything back to her?
No, I got up and left. I sat there like shocked for a minute. And I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and feel that for the rest of the night.
Did anyone else hear this? Like, did anyone
Everybody heard. Everybody heard it.
Nobody was like,
no
all
one
right,
stood up for
settle
you?
down, B word.
Can I tell you who was very nice? And this was almost made it a little bit worse, was the engineer, Jeff. He goes, I'll play a game with you, Dave. And I felt he meant so well.
I know, but it makes it worse.
But it kind of made it worse. Like, I feel sorry for you, Dave.
Yeah.
I'll play a game with you. Okay.
Oh, buddy, I'll play with you.
Can we move on?
Sure.
Okay.
Do you want to hear some text messages or
Sure.
no?
Yeah. And then we'll do the weekend winner in a second.
Yeah. Someone says, Dave, I'm sorry that happened. I can relate as a socially awkward person, sending you virtual hugs.
Oh, thanks.
Someone said, you should have said, clearly you're not, lady. Boy Scouts are friendly and kind. Someone else says, oh, she was so rude. I think it would have been fun to play a game with y'all while we were just chilling. All right, Karen, I don't see you coming up with anything to do.
I feel like this one's, it's not justified, but someone did text. I have a friend who hates games, especially when alcohol's involved, because she's embarrassed about her ability to understand them and participate. So anytime a game is brought out, she shuts down and doesn't participate. So this person, it could have been a deflection, but regardless, sorry that happened to you, Dave.
Well, thanks.
Once again, not justifying.
Everybody's
Not justifying.
Everybody's got something. Everybody's got your little vulnerable moment, and mine is done.
Did she ever apologize to you?
Oh, hell no. She is not an apologizing kind of a person.
God, I need to know.
I think
I'll tell you who it is off the air.
I think being as someone who apologizes is such a great thing to be. And I think more people should learn how to apologize.
And
period.
apologize and period. Not apologize, but.
Or I'm sorry, you felt that way. Just apologize, period. Know when you did something wrong and own up to it.
Okay.
Period.
Well, the phone is open if she wants to call in.
Yeah.
And that is it. Let's do the name for the weekend right now on KDWB. Let's go. Here is this time. We do it this morning at 7:35, every day this week at 7:35, but a bonus play this morning at 8:35. So if it's not your name on Instagram, then be here at 8:35 and we'll do it again. Here is the handle, the Instagram name. If it's you, you call us within 10 minutes and 13 seconds. We'll time you, and you're going to the weekend this weekend.
It is Patricia A. Peterson 1. Patricia A. Peterson, the number 1. So give us a call. Dave's got his timer going. You have 10 minutes, 13 seconds.
Okay, call now to win. And if it's not you this time, be here at 8:35. Put an alarm in your phone so you don't miss it. We had a couple of people miss their names last week.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like buying a lottery ticket and then throwing it away.
Yeah.
So if you entered, make sure you're here to win on KDWB.
The Dave Ryan Show, 101.3 KDWB.
Brought to you by 612 Injured, Heimer and Lammer's Injury Law. Number one movie over the weekend, Lilo and Stitch. I saw a couple of movies on Netflix over the weekend that I'll pass along. Woman of the Hour.
Okay.
It is about a serial killer based on a true story, and she met him on The Dating Game, which was an old 1960s, 1970s game. And he was a serial killer that killed, they think, up to 130 people.
Wow.
It's called Woman of the Hour.
I heard that was good. That's got Anna Kendrick in
Yes.
it. Yes.
Really, really good. And then Misha and the Wolves, which we stumbled across. And it's a movie about a woman who was in a concentration camp in World War II as a little kid, 7 years old. And she broke out and she ran away. She walked thousands of miles across Europe to look for her parents and was raised by a family of wolves. And she wrote a book and did a speaking tour. And then some holes started to be poked in her story.
Oh, no.
And it turned out, no spoiler alert, because you know this at the beginning, she made the whole thing up. She was never, there was part of it was true. She was never raised by wolves.
Would have been cool, though.
I was going to say, it sounds so fake.
Would have been cool.
I also watched a movie this weekend on Netflix called Nona's, and it was so cute.
I saw the restaurant, yeah.
Yes, it has Vince Vaughn as the main person, and he hires all these Italian women to cook for this restaurant that he decides to open. And it was just, it's a very heartwarming, sweet movie. I highly recommend it. I feel like for a Netflix movie, it did really good. I mean, on Rotten Tomatoes, it's ranked at like 82%. So that's pretty good for a Netflix original movie.
Yeah, it's definitely good.
Jenny, I know that you are single right now, as am I, but I have someone for you.
Who?
Ryan Seacrest is open and available for you. Yep, he is right now. He's been photographed with some 32-year-old woman named Camille, but they're just friends.
Yeah.
And so he's actually on the market right now. So I think you should slide into his DMs.
I'm sorry, what have they been photographed doing?
They've been going to Rome, Italy. They've been going on a lot of trips together over the past years. They are not dating. He lives and works in Los Angeles, but he's, pretty busy. But I think he's
pretty busy. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I think you two would have really hit it off with Ryan Seacrest.
No,
he is single.
I would never hit it off with Ryan Seacrest because I would want to sit on the couch and watch a movie, and he would be like, no, I have 5,000 things I have to do. We would never be together, okay? I'm sorry.
It's probably a good thing.
He's
honestly.
a hustler, and I absolutely admire the hustle, but I could never be with someone who literally doesn't seem to enjoy life, except apparently in Rome right now with a woman that's not his girlfriend.
No, just a woman. Well, think about it.
So this is kind of a sad story to go off of that is Alex Cooper, who she hosts the podcast Call Her Daddy. She just had a documentary debuted at the Tribeca Festival this past weekend. And in an interview, she kind of revealed some things that she was sexually harassed when she was in college by her coach, which was a woman. And that person has retired since then. But apparently this woman became very fixated with Alex's romantic life. And the coach would make comments about Alex's body and would question her who she's dating. And so at the Tribeca Festival, she said, I was in a situation with someone who abused their power. I was just another woman who experienced harassment, and they took away the thing I loved most. So I believe she talks about that in her documentary that debuted, which I assume follows the rise of Call Her Daddy, which has changed so much over the years. It used to be this crazy sex podcast, and now
it's not now, right?
And now, no, not at all. She gets fantastic people to interview. She's a pretty good interviewer. I mean, she interviewed Kamala during the race, the presidential race.
Wow.
She'll interview Chelsea Handler. She'll interview some random influencer who just got cheated on by her boyfriend that everyone thought they were going to be together forever. So it's a good podcast, honestly. I like it a lot better than what it used to be.
Yeah. Shout out. Well, I love the Call Her Daddy podcast. I was watching that. I know which interview we're talking about. I also want to talk about this queen, Sabrina Carpenter. This song, Man Child, she dropped it on Friday. We did like a world premiere for it. It's already the biggest streaming debut for a female artist on Spotify globally this year.
Okay, this year. Okay.
Yeah, but globally, that's big. This was bigger than, I think, Taste for her, which was a huge song. Please, Please, Please. But this one was really hyped up. And I think the reason's because it's about Barry Keoghan, who she, in Please, Please, Please said, don't cheat on me. Then he cheated on her. So this was the response. But shout out Sabrina.
She's got like 6 songs on the radio within the past year. That's insane.
Her, Tate McRae, like they're killing it right now.
Yeah.
Okay, that is The Dirt, brought to you by 612 Injured, Heimer and Lammer's Injury Law. Remember last week, we talked to a guy who was going to do something we thought was ill-advised. We're going to get the follow-up. What's this guy's name again?
His name is Dan.
Dan. The follow-up on this big grand gesture to win back his girl right now. Okay, so last week we talked to Dan, and here we are at 7:43 in the morning on Monday. On Friday, Dan was going to do this big grand gesture. He cheated on his girlfriend with somebody at work. He thought it was stupid. It was a big mistake. He admitted to his girlfriend. He said, I cheated. I'm so sorry. And then she pretty much dumped you right away. That was it. She was done. Right, Dan? Dan? I know.
Have a button.
Here we go. There's a
There
button
you go.
on. Okay. Hi, Dan.
Hey, good morning.
She dumped you pretty much right away.
Yeah, that was it. Exactly. She jumped me.
And how long ago was this that this happened?
You said that this happened like 6 months ago, right?
Yes.
You guys have been broken up for? Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So your idea was, and I can't tell anything from his voice this
Me
morning. Your big grand gesture was, if I remember right, you're going to get a bunch of flowers, like dozens of flowers, go to her work, printed a couple of tickets to Scottsdale, which is your place. You guys had spent some time in Scottsdale. Fly her to Scottsdale this past weekend. Now, in talking to him right now, they could have just got back from Scottsdale last night.
Could have.
But we don't know. Dan, tell me how everything went down.
So I went to her work. I was sort of waiting till she was coming back from lunch. I was just kind of hanging out. I saw her come back. So when I saw her go in, I waited a few more minutes, and then I sort of followed in after her. She was behind the front desk and saw me come in. And then she immediately got up and went through the security door to the back.
Not a good sign.
Oh, not a good sign.
Okay, so she saw you come in instead of going, Dan, what are you doing here? Without a word, she got up and she went to the back.
So I stood there for a few minutes waiting until some guy came up and I asked her, can I see her real quick? And the guy said, she doesn't want to see you.
Ooh.
So that wasn't great. I tried to win this guy over, he's a security guy, by telling him, what my plan was. And then he went back to my girlfriend to tell her about my plan. And then he came back a few minutes later and said, she's not interested. And I didn't, I don't want to call anyone to make it a big deal out of it. So I left. I threw the flowers in the trash next to the elevator and just get out of there. That was a pretty strong message to me that she was not interested. And so that was it, unfortunately.
How do you feel about that? How did that make you feel?
Awful. Absolutely awful. Because here I am trying to sort of rekindle what we had. I had this, this big plan of how I was going to do it, with Scottsdale and these flowers and all that. And then she didn't even give me the time of day. Like, I couldn't even explain anything to her. She was just not interested, and it was it,
So I have a question. Obviously, you had this whole trip planned. Did you do anything with the trip? You didn't go by yourself, did you?
No, I didn't go. I actually got the credit back for the flights.
Well, that's nice. At least there's that.
So
yeah,
you're kind of done. Or do you think, I'm worried about you, Dan. I'm worried that you're going, I need to try a little harder next time. How are you feeling about walking away?
Yeah, I kind of sat on this all weekend a little bit, and clearly she's not interested. So there's really nothing else for me to do. This is sort of my big last minute sort of decision to try to make something happen here, and it just didn't work. So I don't have any other ideas, honestly. She wouldn't even give me the time of day, so I have nothing.
I will say that you went in a little too hot. Most people recommended last week that you shouldn't do what you did, which is showing up to her work.
Yeah, that's kind of that's her private place.
Yeah, you put her in an uncomfortable position. And also, I think you mentioned that you guys haven't really been in contact. So you don't know her situation anymore. She could be dating someone new, A, or B, she might be expecting more of like an apology from you and just showing up at her work. It's not she probably wasn't expecting that. She just saw the flowers and was like, oh boy, this is too much.
But she also doesn't know what he was going there for. I'm not saying you're wrong, Jenny, but I commend him for at least putting in the effort to go to her job and try to have a conversation, win her back, whatever.
I think that most people, if they've been cheated on, though, they want to know, like, if you are trying to win me back, why should I take you back, And so a grand gesture is great when you're just like, things didn't really work out for some whatever reason. But when you've been cheated on, you probably want an explanation of like, why do you want me back? And how have you changed? And what are you going to do differently?
Yeah.
So a grand gesture in that scenario doesn't feel right.
And that's what I'm saying, though. But she doesn't know if he was going to say that or what. She doesn't know he had the trip to Scottsdale.
Yeah, but he showed up at her work. So
yeah, still
I don't think it's fair. A lot of text messages, but also Renee is on the phone to kind of tell you what you, if you missed the beginning, Dan tried to win his girlfriend back by going to her office on Friday with a bunch of flowers and tickets to Scottsdale, which is their place, and she would not even speak to him. Renee, what did you want to say about Dan?
Well, Jenny is 100% right. He took what should have been a private moment and he brought it to her workplace. He's talking about feeling, not happy about how it turned out. Well, what do you think she feels like? Her whole office knows about this now, and she'll never be able to live this down. It'll continuously be brought up. He can just go home and cry himself to sleep and be done with it. But now she has this whole thing that's been brought into her business world that she's not going to be able to, again, ever get out of everyone's minds there. And it's just so disrespectful on top of everything else in their history that he wouldn't have taken that into consideration.
You know what? I think guys have seen too many movies where it's like, I want to win her back, so I'm going to ride a horse to her wedding.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pick her up on this horse and we're going to ride away on her wedding day. And guys will be like, yeah, that's what she needs. Dan, I will admire you more if you just kind of walk away and say, you know what? She gave me her answer, and her answer was clearly no.
And maybe if Dan's a movie star, this could have worked for him. But
or maybe so. Thanks, Renee. Dan, good luck. I mean, you'll find, it hurts, but you'll find somebody new.
Yeah, no, lesson learned. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, don't cheat on that person.
Yeah.
Or any person.
Or anyone.
Okay.
He's like, all right, I will.
What do you think? Did we miss anything? Thanks for all the text messages. We appreciate that. Couple of text messages at KDWB 153921.
A lot of people don't like Dan. This person says, Dan sucks. He didn't feel nearly as dumb as she did 6 months ago. What an idiot. What a loser. He cheated on her and is mad that she didn't want to go on a trip with him. Hope he's single for the rest of his life.
Ouch.
Yeah, a lot of people are not liking Dan, though someone said, I hope that he went on his trip and met someone there. But he did not go on the trip by himself. Not looking good. Not looking good
I think it's
for
bad
Dan
enough
over
that he
this.
cheated. Cheating is one thing, but then to kind of control her answer or her response by cornering her. Because you can block a phone call, you can ignore a text or an email, but you really can't ignore somebody coming into your work.
I'm not justifying him doing that. I'm giving him credit for trying to go chase after his girl. But, you knew that this was the territory you were stepping into.
All right. Hey, anything going on in your life? You want some advice? We are very free with our advice. It's never good. But if you want some, then send us an email or call us at 651-989-KDWB. It's Monday, and we did not get a winner on the Weeknd tickets. I don't get it, because if I signed up for something, I'd be like, did I win?
It's not that hard to set an alarm for 7:35.
Yeah, you guys, come on.
But also, you got to set your alarm for 8:35 now, too, because we have another pair that we'll be giving away, and we'll be calling another name at 8:35 this morning.
Okay, so be here at 8:35. We'll remind you, and you haven't signed up yet, go to Instagram, Dave Ryan Show, 1013 KDWB, follow KDWB, and then comment anything. You can say, Happy Monday. You can say, shout out to my grandma. And then tag anybody. We will pick one person. We'll call your name at 8:35 this morning. And again, we'll do another one tomorrow at 7:35. Motivational Monday on KDWB. This one was sent in by somebody who listens to the show, and I really appreciate this one. You can seem like a millionaire to one person and a homeless person to the next. The ants think you are a giant, and the trees don't even notice you. You think you have a boring life, but the next person might be striving for your lifestyle. Comparison is the thief of joy. So stay kind and keep loving life. Life is all just a big game of perspective. So you can look at somebody who's like, taking their private plane to France, and you might go, my life is boring. But it's like, hey, you might have a wonderful partner, or you might have a mom that you're really, really close to, or you might be really good at your job. So compare yourself down. Compare yourself. Don't compare yourself at all.
Yeah.
Comparison is the thief of joy. So keep loving life. It's all a game of perspective.
Count your blessings always.
It's kind of like count your blessings, because we can always look at somebody like, I went to school with a guy who was like a huge home developer, multi-millionaire, did really, really well. And he's set for life. And I can compare myself to him, or I can compare myself to, notice how happy I am.
I like the idea of the whole thing about perspective, because sometimes, man, somebody who's like makes a mountain out of an anthill, whatever what they call it.
Yeah, mountain out of a molehill. Yeah.
Yeah. And that it's everything is the worst thing that could possibly happen. And I'm always thinking like, girl, look at yourself with perspective here. Like if you zoom out a little bit, it ain't that bad.
It's very true. Okay.
Count your blessings.
And that is the Monday Motivation on KDWB. On the Dave Ryan in the Morning Show, Vaunt is here. Vaunt is going to stir. You almost fostered a dog this weekend, didn't you?
Oh, man, we were so devastated. So we signed up to be fosters a couple of months ago, and we found a dog this week that we wanted, because they send emails every week because they come from like smaller states. And we have picked one cute little, what was it? It was like
a boxer hound.
Yes, mix. And his name was Oliver, 4 months. He was so cute. And we said, we want this dog. And they said, okay, you'll get this dog next week when they come on the truck. 2 days after we get excited, and me and Alyssa started looking at beds and stuff, they emailed and was like, oh yeah, Oliver's coming up with another dog, and we want to get both of them to stay together. So somebody else took Oliver, and Alyssa was like disappointed, because you always want something to look forward to. And for 2 days, she was like, okay, we're getting a little puppy, we're going to have a little fur baby around the house. But I said, it's God saying, not right now.
It'll happen.
Yes.
It'll happen when it happens.
Yeah.
I was looking at dogs this weekend too. We found one called Bernard. And I describe him as an uglier, bigger version of Josie, but he's just got such a sweet face. You can see him on my Dave Ryan, DaveRyanShow.com under the Dave tab, under the Weekend in 5 photos. And by the way, remember Gavin, the one we looked at about 2 months ago? He is still up for adoption.
No!
Nobody's adopted Gavin
I thought
yet.
he went to a home.
He did, and she had an apartment, and it didn't work out.
Oh, bummer.
So she had to surrender Gavin back to Spot's last stop.
If Bernard doesn't work out, I know a dog.
I will tell you, I would get Gavin in a heartbeat. Susan didn't like the fact that Gavin sheds. And he is one of those dogs where you just touch him and there's a cloud of short hair.
My girlfriend's dog was just at my house this weekend, and that is how that dog is. As soon as she left, I spent like 2 hours vacuuming, I swear. So I get it. If you don't want to deal with hair, you cannot get a dog that sheds like that.
He was so sweet. He's got a little pink, cute nose, and he's so happy. But we'll wait to see if we hear back on Bernard. Do you like the name Bernard?
I do.
I do.
Yeah?
That's the hot elf.
I call him Bernie. I would call him the hot elf.
That's the hot elf.
Yeah, from Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Are you
Bernard?
kidding me?
He's the hot elf.
I
He's
guess
the
I
one
didn't
hot
remember
one.
That was Bailey's sexual awakening.
Truly
when she
was.
young.
Bernard, he's like, man, Christmas.
You
And I'm
wanna
like, oh man.
Put gifts under my tree.
Yeah.
All right. Let's have Vaunt stir the pot on KDWB. Vaunt, what is on your mind today?
Thank you. Well, speaking of kids shows and movies, let's talk about the Muppets. They are 10 times better than Sesame Street. And I'm going to fight anybody that disagrees.
Okay.
The Muppets are better than Sesame Street.
Yeah, they're all the same, like under Jim Henson. They're all the same characters. But I don't know. The Muppets got more spunk than I feel like Sesame Street does.
Well, they're allowed to.
Why though?
Technically, did you know that the Muppets are actually for adults?
No.
So like the
I've never heard
Muppet
that.
Show is like the Muppet Show from the 70s, 80s. It's not a kids show. They would interview. It was kind of like a variety show, and they would interview celebrities and stuff, but it wasn't meant for children. So the Muppets are actually meant for adults. And I think the reason you like them more is because you are an adult.
They just, no, I mean, I feel like even as kids, because Sesame Street is cool, right? Elmo and Big Bird, but they're always so happy and positive. I like that Miss Piggy got a little sass to her. That Kermit the Frog be like, oh, okay. Like he's Miss Piggy's BITCH.
Dang.
I really never thought that they were separate because they really are. Muppets are on Sesame Street, but Sesame Street is not on the Muppets.
Nope,
Yes.
never.
They are technically all Muppets, though.
They're all Muppets, yeah.
They are Muppets.
And the best Muppet song of all time is Bert and Ernie, Boogie Woogie Sheep.
Yes.
Where no, it is. This is where Ernie can't sleep at night, so he gets out his little bugle and he plays a little bugle song. Here, I'll play it.
Get up off my pillow and I flip on the light. I get down and get off in the still of the night. I stretch and I yawn and then I breathe real good and dance myself to sleep. I hoof around my Betty, just a tap on my toes. Before I know what's happening, I'm ready to doze. Got some partners I can count on, called the Boogie Woogie
Sheep.
What? I dance myself to sleep. I don't believe it. I gently rock by myself across the floor.
Okay, I won't play the whole thing. It's not on the playlist, but
I mean, I would say that Moving Right Along from the Muppet movie is the greatest Muppet song. And Vaughn, have you even seen the Muppet movie?
Oh, I've seen so many. My favorite is Muppets Take Manhattan, though.
Okay. You impressed me just then because I was going to throw shade on you because I assumed I made an ass out of you and me.
Look at you.
And I thought that maybe you had never seen a Muppet movie because as we all know, Muppets are a part of my personality.
And that's what I'm saying. The Muppets have movies. Sesame Street don't.
What's this one?
Sesame Street does have movies. This is Moving Right Along. Moving Right Along.
Getting there is half the fun. Come share it with me. Moving right along. We'll learn to share the load. We don't need a map to keep the show on the road.
So good.
Hey, Fozzie,
it just occurred to me that Fozzie Bear and Bert are the same voice.
Yeah, they're all Muppets. And they're all the same
voice.
Dude. It's pretty much Frank Oz and Jim
They
Henson.
are?
That's it.
Kind of. I don't know anything. I didn't do Muppets or Sesame
Didn't
Street.
it floor
growing up.
you, though, the first time you saw Star Wars and Yoda is the voice of Miss Piggy and Bert?
Yeah.
I was like, that's not Yoda. That's Bert and Miss Piggy.
Mixed together.
Anybody listening, if you know Fraggle Rock, which is like another show Jim Henson did with Muppets, but that's like very under the radar, you're an OG if you know that show.
Oh, yeah. I love Fraggle Rock.
But yeah, stirring the pot, Muppets are better than Sesame Street. They just got more spunk, more sass.
Okay. Thank you, Vaughn. We appreciate it. It's 101.3 KDWB. Have you ever looked at somebody different all of a sudden? Jenny's got a story.
Stood still.
We are going to do another bonus name for the weekend tickets coming up at 8:35 this morning. You're like, wait, what? I wasn't prepared for this. Throwing off my whole schedule. So be here at 8:35 this morning, and we'll give you another name for the weekend. If you're not sure how to play the game, just send me a text, and then I'll let you know how to play the game. We just got back for the weekend, just like you did. Go see our Weekend in 5 photos on DaveRyanShow.com or on Dave Ryan Show on Instagram.
So I had something happen recently that made me look at someone very differently. Basically, I was out on a hike with some friends and they had brought their dog and the dog pooped on the side of the trail.
Classic.
I'm like, okay, they've got their dog poop bags. It's all good. Whatever. They're going to clean this up. No. The guy grabs 2 sticks and he kind of like levels the poop up from the ground and then just tosses it deep into the woods. And his partner was like, what are you doing? He's like, whatever. It's just going to decompose. I'm not carrying this poop for another 3 miles left of this hike. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it was just one of those moments where I was like, I looked at that person a little bit differently after that.
No, I would too.
Because I was like, it's not that hard. Like, yeah, it sucks to have to carry poop, but like it's
part of the responsibility.
That's the risk. Yeah, I was like, that's a risk you take when you bring a dog on a hike. You know, you go on a 20-mile hike, dog poops mile 1, you got 19 miles with that dog poop in your hand, okay? Or you get something called a clipadoo that I think is really cool that you can get on Etsy.
Yeah.
But I just was wondering, has anything ever happened with you guys where you're like, whoa, like this one moment where you just kind of looked at someone you thought you knew pretty well differently because they did something? I'm putting you on the spot, so I understand if you don't have an example right now.
I've heard people use a racial term that made me go, are you serious?
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
like, yeah.
I've heard
that. Was like, what, really? I've also heard the F word as far as gay people. And I was like, are you serious?
Yeah, I don't like when people use language that I don't agree with, especially if they're your friend.
I know somebody who finagled the insurance system so they would get their insurance to pay for their baby because they lied about something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but they had
They cheat the system somehow.
They figured out a way to work the system and get the insurance company to pay for their birth of their baby. And I'm like, that sucks.
Honestly, so I see a lot of improv in my life. And sometimes you're watching an improv show with people that you know and respect and think are great performers. And then they say something in a scene and you're like, that was in your brain, like deep in your brain. And you thought, I'm going to say this. And then there's always just like a silence in the audience, like, ooh. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, that's that weird thing that one person said that one time. Awkward. I don't like
it. Do you have anything?
I think the same thing as Bailey. When we were in college, we always did like college TV shows and radio shows. And you just hear people say some things that probably shouldn't come out of their mouth sometimes. No particular examples, but I do remember just being like, oh, okay, I'm going to stay away from this person after hearing that now.
Awkward.
I would definitely, I think that you would have a hard time getting someone, you figure if everybody flipped their dog poop into the woods with a stick, then there would be dog poop all over the woods. It's kind of like when we were with the Boy Scouts. The boys were like, can we throw an apple core on the ground, Mr. Ryan? And I would give them the thing where I'm about to backhand them. You know what I mean? That gesture where you're about to backhand them.
You got to stop yourself.
I say, no, little Theodore.
No.
And then why not? I said, well, think about if everybody came by with a banana peel or an orange peel or an apple core and threw it on the ground. It'll decompose, Mr. Ryan. So I give him the backhand gesture again.
I mean, I only learned that within the last year from you saying that because I used to also eat apples and just like toss them out the window or something on a road trip.
No.
And I was like, oh, it's fine. It'll
It's still
decompose.
litter because they take weeks to decompose. And think if every Yahoo came by with an apple, orange, or banana peel and then threw it in the ditch, then there'd be litter. Think about if you went to a park, you went to Afton State Park. And a Girl Scout troop came by and they had a bunch of oranges and they threw their orange peels all over the ground. Sure, they'll decompose. It takes longer than you think. But is that something you want to see or would you rather not see it?
Oh, I was in the car with a friend one time and somebody cut me off and I had road rage. Where I have road rage, I'll just honk my horn crazy. The person I'm in the car with opened my window and threw their drink at the other person. I was like, don't do that in my car. I was like, we are not doing that.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Man, I'm kind of shocked at the amount of people who are saying it's okay to just chuck your poop in the woods.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing is that it's not. it's probably better than leaving it on the path. But I mean, come on, because if everybody did it, guess what it would do? Stank.
Yeah.
It was like, we had a neighbor one time, they would not clean up. Thankfully, they moved. They would not clean up after their dog. You would walk outside and there were steaming piles. You could smell it if the wind was right. So don't do it. What?
Imagine everyone's throwing their poop into the woods and then and there's like lore, like, there's that stanky woods. Them are the stanky woods. We don't go in them stanky woods.
No, people will justify it. People will justify throwing apple cores, orange peels, whatever. It's like, well, animals will eat all of those. I don't know. Will they? Do bears come by and eat orange peels? Do squirrels eat orange peels? No.
I mean, maybe
up,
like a loaf of bread. Yeah, that makes sense. But like a peel.
A peanut butter sandwich. If you put it out on a picnic table, then maybe they would eat it.
And they'd sit down.
Someone even texted in saying that a scout leader told them to leave the apple peels and banana peels in the woods.
I will tell you that not all scout leaders are great scout leaders.
Yeah, because I mean, like, what are the requirements to be a scout leader? You have a kid in scouts?
What?
You have a kid in scouts?
Well, no, you don't even have to have a kid in scouts. You got to pass the background check. And really, other than passing the background check and taking the training, that, like training, like no scout is ever allowed to be one-on-one with a scout leader.
Mm-hmm.
You always have to have like another scout leader there, things like that. But yeah, anybody can be a scout leader. You don't have to know anything about scouting, camping, the outdoors, or nature to be a scout. You have to be able to show up to the meeting on Wednesday nights.
That don't sound right.
You don't have to be a former scout yourself?
Oh, God, no. No,
wow.
no.
Interesting. I'm going to become a scout leader.
Yeah, that don't sound right. You don't even have to have a kid in scouts?
Somebody said, read the book, What If Everybody Did That?
Oh, yeah. There's a book about it?
I guess there
Sounds
is.
fascinating.
Really interesting.
I love that.
All right, it is KDWB on the Dave Ryan Show. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals is tonight on TNT and True TV. What else is going on? Northtown Mall shooting victim identified as a 15-year-old. Plymouth.
Oh, I was going to say, can I make an announcement because it just went live like 10 minutes ago?
Oh, please do.
My Fit Club for June is happening this Sunday. So I do a Fit Club, basically a monthly class that's free for anyone who signs up and gets in on the first like 20 people that sign up. And I always do it at Flight, either in Woodbury or St. Louis Park. And so this month it's going to be at Woodbury, coming up this Sunday, 11 a.m. And I have a request for this one. I would like the Zaddies to show up because it is Father's Day.
Oh.
So like all you Zaddies, come on in. And also, if you're single, I just want to let you know that a lot of hot, beautiful women come to my Fit Club classes. So they are a good spot. The last time I did a Woodbury one, there was one very attractive man that came. Every woman there that was single was like, I'm going to talk to him. So this is my request to come on out, sign up. You can go to daveryanshow.com and just click on the Jenny tab. The first thing that pops up, you'll see all I need is like your name, phone number, and email. It's pretty simple.
Okay, when is Fit Club again? When?
Coming up this Sunday at 11 a.m. at Flight in Woodbury. So
on Father's Day.
Yeah, on Father's. Yeah, so this is the Zaddy Fit Club. Zaddy.
I should come.
Yeah.
Because when you look up Zaddy on Google, it says, did you mean Dave Ryan?
That's the antonym that it brings up on
antonym.
Google.
Okay. Shut it, Bailey.
Shut up.
We'll be right back on KDWB. A little mystery story. I'm going to see if you can figure out this mystery story. Yeah, I'll read you the story. It's very short, and there's one clue to solve the mystery. Can you do it? We'll find out next on KDWB.
The Twin Cities #1 hit music station, 101.3 KDWB.
This September, our iHeartRadio Music Festival
Presented by Capital One
is coming back to Las Vegas, and you can win your way to be there.
for a weekend full of superstar performances. Streaming live only on Hulu.
Starring
Tate McRae, Ed Sheeran, Lil Wayne,
4, 3, 2, I let one go. Jelly Roll. I'm not okay. Maroon 5.
Mariah Carey, Glorilla,
And more. 15 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage, and once-in-a-lifetime artist moments you'll have to see to believe.
Tickets go on sale June 13th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific through AXS.com. But starting Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, Capital One cardholders get first access to tickets and other exclusive offers for 48 hours only, or while pre-sale tickets last. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details. What's in your wallet?
Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
From the Custom One MN.com Weather Center.
A bit of a chilly start to the week. A few stray showers this morning. Cloudy otherwise. High of 66. Tomorrow, partly sunny and 83.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about essential warm weather styles, just $30 and under, like dresses, shoes and bags, men's, and even kids' looks. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Hey, it's Dave and Jenny. Before we turn the microphones on, Jenny and I were chatting. I didn't know the average woman spends so much time on unwanted hair, tweezing and plucking and shaving.
Well, yeah, we got the leg hair, the underarm hair, we got the eyebrow hair, all of that good stuff. But there is a solution for that. You can go to Ideal Image and get laser hair removal. And then you've saved so much time.
Right.
So now you can do more important things in life, like scrolling on TikTok.
Yeah, you got to have the TikTok time for sure. Right now, you can get up to 84% off on laser hair removal. Yes, I said up to 84% off on laser hair removal. My wife, my daughter, Allison, have both been to Ideal Image underarm hair removal. They were very happy with the results at Ideal Image. And right now, up to 84% off on laser hair removal.
Call them today to get their promo pricing, not only on the laser hair removal, but also injectables, cool sculpting, and more at 1-800-BE-IDEAL. That's 1-800-BE-IDEAL.
Or check them out online at idealimage.com. Make sure you tell them Dave and Jenny sent you.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Minnesota.
This summer is all about Big 3 basketball. Ice Cube's 3-on-3 League is back with superstar ballers like Dwight Howard, Michael Beasley, and more. Legendary coaches, big plays, musical guest performances. It's something you don't want to miss. Watch every weekend all summer long on CBS and Vice.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating. Keep celebrating when you bundle and save with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Home Internet from AT&T presents a straightforward moment inspired by straightforward pricing.
And now we just cube the pancetta.
What's on the menu?
Your fave mom carbonara. I'm streaming a new recipe.
Hold on to this internet, son. It's a keeper.
Oh, I will. It's the one.
So no more one-year stands.
Nope. With home internet from AT&T, there's no price increase at 12 months.
What about equipment fees?
Equipment fees were never right for you.
I'm done playing those games. What I have now is straightforward.
Okay. In the spirit of being straightforward, your carbonara is carbonara-ish.
And this is takeout. I was going to pass it off as homemade.
Oh, you did that for me.
Well, now that we're being straightforward with each other, I just want to say that...
Careful now. No equipment fees, no annual contracts, no price increase at 12 months. Straightforward is better with home.
All right, welcome back to Family Feud. Olsen family. We polled 100 people. Top 5 answers are on the board. Give us a reason for being late to work. Chuck, go ahead.
I was that
Good answer.
Good answer.
All right, show me that All right, Jacobson family, 100 people surveyed. Top 8 answers are on the board. Name something you drive. Carolyn, go ahead.
Dead ass.
All right, good answer. All right.
Good job.
Show me dad ass.
Yeah.
All right. Back to the Olsens, 100 people surveyed. Top 3 answers are on the board. Something you see at an amusement park. All right, Kyle, go ahead.
People.
All right, okay.
Good job.
See if it's up there. Show me people. All right, Dawn, it's to you. Same question. Something you might see at an amusement park.
People.
Yeah, good answer. Now, Dawn, you do realize that answer has already been guessed, and it's already up on the board. You see it up there?
Oh, it's okay, Steve. I want to guess it again. People. All
right. Okay, show me people. All right. Well, it's the number 1 answer and number 2 answer. All right. Time for the bonus round. Chuck and Carolyn, come on over here, you guys. Bonus round. All right. Chuck, you are up. 20 seconds on the clock. First question, excuses for not turning in your homework.
My dog ate it.
Oh, sorry. Try it again.
I must have put it in the dishwasher.
Nope, no, not there. Try it again, Chuck.
Busy sucking.
Oh, there it is. Yes, very good. Carolyn, you get the same questions. 20 seconds on the clock. The excuses for not turning in your homework.
I lost it.
Oh, not there. No, sorry. Try again.
It caught on fire.
Oh, not there. Try again, Carolyn.
Grandpa got all over it.
All right, there it is. Good job. Congratulations, Olsen family. You got $20,000, and we'll see you next time on Family Feud.
And postpartum, learning about myself. There were a lot of identity crises going on, but I realized I can't look back and slow down for people.
Listen to Dear Chelsea on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Dear Chelsea and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Watch the Dave Ryan Show on YouTube. Just search Dave Ryan TV. Live on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. It's 101.3 KDWB.
Big weekend. We stayed busy. All of us went out and did something. Jenny had a big bachelorette party.
It was so fun.
And you can see the videos and pictures and dancing around on the stripper pole and the bus. And
yeah, you can, if you go to my Instagram at Jenny KDWB, you can see that. I feel like I need to go to Holiday Station stores today and get a Mountain Dew though, and just get hyped with caffeine because I am still tired, because that's what happens when you're 35 years old and you do a bachelorette party on Friday. Monday, you still have not recovered. So Mountain Dew 3 for $5 at Holiday. But yeah, it was super fun. And you can see pictures on my Instagram. What did you all do, David?
We were busy. We went to the Edina Art Fair on Saturday. Went flying last night for a little bit. Went to the farmers market downtown. The Lindale Farmers Market. Huge. That thing is vast.
It's my favorite farmers market. I love it so much. And also, did you go watch the dogs at the doggy daycare?
No, what's that?
You need to pay. Oh my God.
What are you talking about?
There's a little doggy daycare. So there's kind of 2-ish sections, I feel like, to the farmer's market. In the very back of the section that has more of the band and the food and stuff.
Yeah, okay, I remember that.
There's a building, and then there's this grass area that they just have the dogs out playing. So so people at the farmer's market just go. And it's not adoptable dogs. It's people that have their dogs there for daycare.
I see. Okay, gotcha.
But it's so fun. And I swear every time I go there, I watch for 10 minutes.
If you haven't been to the farmer's market, that is really cool. And I discovered it. It's not something to discover. It's right there.
Yeah.
Because my friend Nurse Wendy used to fry corn or fry roast corn.
Yeah. Well, you probably can fry it too.
At the farmer's market.
I want to go to one just because I saw a TikTok this weekend about this woman having heirloom tomatoes, big old slabs, and then
they're the size of a human head.
Yes, and I want to try one.
Here's my hot take on farmers markets in Minneapolis. Mill City Farmers Market is cutesy. It's if you want to get your Instagram pics, whatever. If you want to get good stuff from a farmer's market, you go to the one that Dave went to, the Lindale one.
I haven't been to that one yet.
All your varieties of veggies. Do one trip around and then don't buy until your second trip around.
It's good advice. Yeah, because you'll see better tomatoes on your second trip around. Yeah, because we did the same thing. Yes. So go check that out. We got a little riddle for you, a little mystery. And I'm going to give you this mystery, and you're going to see if you can solve it, okay? You don't win anything, but if you solve it, send me a text or call me at 651-989-KDWB. Here we go. A babysitter was murdered, stabbed with a knife, in the kids' room next to the cradle. No harm done to the baby. The investigators checked the room for clues, but no fingerprints, no murder weapon, nothing was found. When they turned their attention to the toys in the room, they realized the answer was there all the time. How did they find the murderer? I'll read it to you again.
Yeah,
please.
Can you?
I'm lost.
Yeah.
A babysitter was murdered, stabbed with a knife, in the kids' room next to the cradle. No harm was done to the baby. The investigators checked the room for clues, no fingerprints, no murder weapon, nothing was found. When they turned their attention to the toys in the room, they realized the answer was there all the time. How did they find the murderer? I'll give you the answer next. See if you got it on KDWB. Did you solve the mystery? A babysitter was killed, stabbed with a knife, in the kids' room next to the cradle. No harm done to the baby. The investigators checked the room for clues, but no fingerprints, no murder weapon, nothing was found. When they turned their attention to the toys in the room, they realized the answer was there all the time. How did they find the murderer? Vanessa is on the phone. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi.
Detective Officer Vanessa. What do you got, Vanessa? What do you think?
It's Detective Vanessa.
Detective
Yes.
Vanessa, yes.
Respect.
I think that she probably tripped on a toy and stabbed herself while checking on the baby.
How do they know that, though?
Oh, I could totally see the toys just kind of strewn all over, and there's a car there, and it flew behind her, and she's on top of the other ones. Oh, it's pretty messy.
It is messy. It is very messy in
She's
there.
doing
but
detective
I'm sorry.
work here, Vanessa.
Detective Vanessa, you are incorrect on this case. I'm
So
sorry.
close, though. So
Thanks
close.
for trying. Detective Gina. Good morning, Detective Gina.
Good morning.
Ready to crack the case. How did they find out who was the murderer?
So obvious, a nanny cam in one of the toys.
In one of the teddy bears, because when they looked to the toys, the answer was there the entire time.
Okay.
That is it. Did you know that right away, or did you have to puzzle on it for a little bit?
No, totally. I knew that right away.
Easy one. Okay.
Nanny
It
cam.
stumped me. I
A
had
lot
to
of
look up
people
the
are-
answer.
Well, so the nanny cam is in the
Teddy bear's eye.
In the eye.
Teddy bear's eye. Yeah. Yeah.
Are nanny cams legal?
I think they're legal in your own home. I don't think you can bring them to the gym.
And you've
Probably
tried.
not.
So.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not like an Airbnb either or something.
Thank you, Gina. There's no prize today, but thanks for listening.
Have a good one.
Okay, bye. We'll be back with You Can't Make This Stuff Up coming up next on KDWB, and we're only about not even 10 minutes away from another name for the Weeknd ticket. So if you entered to win with the Weeknd, stay here on KDWB. We'll call a name coming up within 5-6 minutes on KDWB.
From the Custom One, MN.com Weather Center.
Morning, cloudy the rest of the day, a high of 66. Warming up quite a bit tomorrow, partly sunny, a high of 83.
This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're all about keeping you on the road to summer fun, to rides, to the beach, even to faraway places.
Are we there yet?
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Summer drives start here.
Oh, look who's coming into town. It's your Aunt Thelma and Uncle Harold. When they get to your house, they're going to look at your carpet and get all judgy. That's why when you have guests coming into town this summer, or your barbecues or your grad parties or whatever, get your carpet clean. Don't try to do it yourself. I mean, vacuuming, sure, it's great, but you got to do more than vacuum. And don't try to DIY with the rug monster from the grocery store. I've done it. Take it from me. Don't bother. Zero Res will come by. They'll take care of everything for you, and they'll do such a great job. They've got a 4.9 rating on Google. That's huge. And right now, Zero Res Big Summer Savings, take 20% off of all services. Just set it up. Go to ZeroResMinnesota.com or simply call 952-ZERO-RES. Ask for the KDWB special. There's so many things about this story that I just love. I think even she admits there's some part of this story that's absolutely ridiculous. What happened with your husband that made you say, oh my God, we can do War of the Roses? What happened?
I hope she makes you smile.
I found a pill.
The way you made me smile on the other end of a phone in the middle of a highway driving alone.
I've just noticed that sometimes he comes home and he smells like a different soap.
And there was some sort of smeared substance on her shirt.
I keep finding pairs of underpants in our mailbox.
I hope you both feel the sparks by the end of the drive. I hope you know she's the one by the end of the night. I hope you never ever felt more free. Tell your friends that you're so happy. I hope she comes along and wrecks every one of your plans. I hope you spend your last time to put a rock on her hand.
Knowing that he was there and then she disappears, knowing that giving her the side eye, giving her the look the entire night.
I can't help it that you're insecure about my past relationship. I have said I'm sorry. I've already apologized for that.
Yeah, babe, I hope he shows up in a 2 a.m. pic from a friend, hanging on to a girl to just rub it in. I hope you stay up all night, all alone, waiting by the phone, and then he calls.
So we met this girl, and she introduced herself as, she was like, hi, I'm Kendra from Days of Our Lives.
Well, after the fact, he's like, oh, by the way, I was at Kendra's house putting in a backsplash.
Looked at our Target app, and I've never done this, but it shows all sort of the purchase history around Valentine's Day. We also got this Reese's heart-shaped chocolate box and condoms.
I hope you both feel the sparks by the end of the drive. I hope you know he's the one by the end of the night. I hope you never ever felt more free. Tell your friends that you're so happy.
So I hid under the stairs just in case, someone was going to come over, but no one ever came over. So I was stuck under the stairs for 3 hours.
Like you did on me. Like you did on me.
And Kelly was hoping that you would send those roses to her.
Oh, well, if I would have known she was listening, I would have.
Well, of course you would have.
You're this upset about it. Why can't you just talk to me about it?
I'm going to get a restraining order or something now. Like,
come
this is
on.
one step too far. Like,
honestly, just get off my...
Every guy says, I told that crazy girl to leave me alone.
Yeah. He cheated on his wife, so can you really believe whatever the he's saying? Turns out that I'm basically the last person to know that my sister-in-law and my husband have been having an affair. Everybody else knows.
I hope it comes around and
can't hear you guys.
I mean, how long do you think this is going to last, though? Because, yeah, he can pretend right now that the phone is not coming through, that the call's not coming through. Because he was so flat busted, he just hung up.
Like you did on me.
These car vent clips featuring 3 distinct intensity settings. Because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs.
Picking up! Oscar!
Arthur's Jewelers is where uniqueness meets style. Discover exclusive designs from America's top jewelry brands.
From the 612 injured High Merle and Lammers Injury Law Traffic Center.
Good morning. We have delays on 494 eastbound from West Bush Lake to Highway 100 and westbound from 12th Avenue to 35W. 694 tight westbound from Silver Lake to 252. Crosstown slow eastbound Gleason to Valley View and westbound 34th Avenue to France. I'm Maria Arnold, and that's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Ken's Ryan Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. Hot water, even on the hottest days. Get a brand new water heater for less than $1 a day. Call Ken's Ryan and enjoy reliable comfort all summer long.
I love those guys.
Hear the Dave Ryan Show on the radio, on the iHeartRadio app, and watch on YouTube. Dave Ryan TV from KDWB.
Okay, we're going to do a quick You Can't Make This Stuff Up. Then I'm going to give you this hour's name.
I think we can do it right now.
Right now?
It's 8:35. We said
I'm going to make
we
them
made
wait
promises.
for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So let's do it right now. 8:35. We're going to give you the name for this hour's Instagram winner for the weekend. If you hear your name, you call us at 651-989-KDWB, and then you win. So, Jenny, whenever you are ready.
Yes, the name this time is KIDD, KIDD _ Tesla. So KIDD _ Tesla. Give us a call and we'll get you those weekend tickets. I really hope that KIDD _ Tesla is listening right now.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get a winner last time.
Nope.
Don't
It's
let
been a
us
couple
down.
of days, I think, since we had a winner. So
Yeah.
these tickets are stacking up. We're gonna have to give them away like more often. So
yeah, and make sure you're listening all week long because we are adding in more tickets because people aren't calling. So we're adding in more tickets at 8:35 on top of the 7:35 time that we'll be doing all week.
okay, you have been invited to win KIDD _ Tesla. Call this number 651-989-KDWB, and I will tell you this one: if you know who that is, DM them, call them, go to their house, bang on the door, and say, "Hey, go to call KDWB. You're the big winner, KIDD. Good luck.
Answer the phone.
101.3 KDWB.
You can't make this stuff up.
New poll says 5% of us Americans have never done this. Now, there's all kinds of things. It could be like skydive. It could be hang gliding. It could have been like divorced, whatever.
What percentage?
5% of Americans say they've never done this. The answer is visit a state besides the one they live in.
Oh, wow.
5%. So 1 in 20 have
Imagine.
never been even to Wisconsin.
I wonder if anyone listening has never left this state, like as an adult.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was going to say, I bet you there's a ton of people that
Yeah.
have.
I wonder what the reason, like if there is a reason, because I always think like I don't go traveling a lot. I've been to a bunch of different states, but I don't travel a lot because there's plenty to do here. And I like doing stuff here.
Well, true, but I mean, there's no Yellowstone Park here.
Yeah.
There's no Disneyland here.
Yeah.
So, you got to go places to see places.
But what's the reasoning for the people who don't leave?
They don't like to fly.
Yeah,
That's
they don't
possible.
like to fly. They've
Yeah.
probably never gotten around to it. I mean, I don't think my sister Donna has left the state of Colorado She did come to see me in Oklahoma, the musical, in 2014. But I think other than that, she probably has not left Colorado in 30 years.
Donna
Maybe
has been to
longer.
Minnesota.
She's been here a couple of times,
Man,
yeah.
I'm so sad I didn't ever get to meet her. You think she'll ever come again? No, because you're not going to invite her.
Not if I have it my way. I don't know. So what about you? So 5% of us have never been to another state besides the one we live in. Not surprisingly, there are 4 states that we'd love to go to. Florida, New York, Texas, and California. Those are the ones like, if you're going to go somewhere, you're probably going to go to one of those 4 states. You're going somewhere. The least visited are, do you want to take a stab at this one? What do you think the least visited states are, guys?
Alabama.
Nope.
Iowa?
Nope.
Idaho.
Kansas.
No.
Utah.
Oklahoma.
No. None of these.
Rhode Island?
Alaska.
Alaska.
Oh,
yes.
duh. Alaska. Yeah, that makes
Alaska
sense.
is one of them. Yeah. Okay. Give me another one.
Well, Hawaii.
No.
Oh, you're right. A lot of people do go to Hawaii.
Arkansas?
Nope.
Maine?
Nope.
Pennsylvania?
Nope.
Did we say that?
Nope.
Now my
States that
brain's-
people don't visit.
Delaware.
No.
Jersey.
No.
Mississippi.
No.
Illinois.
One of them is very close to us, and there's nothing there.
North Dakota.
North
Oh,
Dakota.
duh,
Yes,
the
Jenny.
Dakotas. Yeah.
Yeah. South
There really
Dakota.
isn't.
South Dakota got everything.
Yeah.
They're like the kid that got all the looks.
It's like when
Then
you
they got the
drive.
ugly brother.
When you drive to Montana, the faster route is through North Dakota,
Yep.
but you almost always take the South Dakota route because that actually has a little bit of something to give you
It's
along
got
the
a
way.
wall drug.
Yeah, wall
Bear
drug in the Black Hills.
Murdo Car Museum. You never stop at the Murdo Car Museum and tell you you're missing out. It's pretty cool.
I've never heard of it.
It's in Murdo. Yeah. Murdo. Murdo Car Museum. It's pretty cool. Also, we don't visit Vermont and Montana.
Montana?
Which is weird because
No way.
that's where, yeah, I know. That's what it says, that we don't go to Montana.
People are
Over
obsessed
Arkansas?
with Montana.
I don't know.
How
I'm just
strange.
reading the story
Wow.
here. Okay. No winner yet again on weekend
Come on, kid.
tickets.
You have time
So,
still. You have time.
Jenny's taking a little trip. She's going to go to Niswa for a influencers conference.
It's Nisswa. You always
Whatever.
pronounce it wrong. It's
Niswa.
Yeah.
Niswa.
I'm going up to a place called Nature Link. It's like a little resort up there. And yeah, they're doing a little influencer retreat. It's very relaxed and just a hangout sesh. For instance, this evening, we'll be having a bonfire and astrology readings. So we're going to have a little cosmic energy read to us.
That is so not you.
They asked for, we had to take a survey. They asked for your date of birth, the city you were born in, and what time you were born at, which
Of
I had
course.
asked my mom.
It's very
Mhm.
scientific.
Yeah, I didn't know. Also, we'll have a nice fresh juice bar tomorrow morning with the Pilates class. Some free time tomorrow afternoon to do whatever our heart desires. And then
Ooh.
we have a grill out tomorrow evening, and then s'mores on the beach.
That sounds kind of cool.
Are you going to
Wow.
explore Nisswa in your
I think
afternoon?
so, because the resort, they offer bikes, and so there's a trail that takes you from the resort into Nisswa. So I think
Cool.
I'm planning during my free time tomorrow, I'm gonna take a little bike ride to Nisswa and
There's
go
a
check
lot
it
of
out.
lakes over there too, buddy.
Yeah, it's on one of the lakes. I don't remember. Clark Lake. Is Clark
Nice.
one of them?
So you're going to come back and you're going to learn. Is it to learn more tips on being an influencer?
You know, I don't know if it's necessarily that. I think it's just connection and then also promotion for the resort. It's a resort that is holding
Gotcha.
it. And so I'm pretty sure it's really one big marketing scheme, but I'm all for it because this is all covered. Like they invited
It's all
me.
paid for?
Yeah.
Really?
The
Yeah.
resort is really nice too.
There's Dave, I feel like this is not really in your realm of understanding certain influencer stuffs, but like really big influencers get flown out to different cities for like big parties by brands and stuff, and everything's covered.
All you got to do is post about
you got to post
whatever it
and
is,
tag and
Dove
stuff, but
chocolate
it's like
or whatever.
Coachella influencers all have like their brand of houses. Like there was a big Poppy, the soda. Last Coachella, Poppy had a house that had a bunch of influencers invited, and everything's covered. So that's usually how
Isn't that crazy?
influencer trips work. But at the same time, I watch some of these people, and they're on these trips constantly, and they don't even look like they're having fun because it just gets exhausting after a while. Because you don't get to.
I can see that.
You
You're
can
busy.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
The one I'm going to is actually a legitimate chill retreat vibe, but a lot of them are very much like, you got to post and you got to do this and blah, 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 blah. And then you're with a bunch of other people who are like, well, be in my video. You be in my video. Let's do this.
Everyone's phone is out.
Yeah.
Gosh. You really get to
So.
connect with nature.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. In Yellowstone, I saw maybe one couple that was like an influencer, or I don't know if they're influencers, but trying to do the Instagram video kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like dancing or doing something in front of Old Faithful. And you just, thank God I didn't get distracted by all that. But it's not going away. It's not going anywhere. It's a huge thing.
Jenny, someone on our YouTube Live said Ye Old Pickle Factory in Nisswa is fun.
I love pickles.
Please go to the Ye Old Pickle Factory and please bring me back something.
I would do the Ye Old Pickle Factory over the astrology reading by the campfire.
No, I want to do the astrology reading. I'm hyped. I need to know my future.
All right, we'll be back in a second. Dave's Dirt on KDWB.
Work can wait. The dirt cannot. Dave's Dirt on KDWB.
Well, if you're into Freakier Friday, the full trailer has been released.
I didn't want to be a part of this family, and now I'm part of some dodgy family curse. And I'm the eldest.
As teenagers, we have no power. But as adults, we can break our parents up for good.
Okay, so it's going to be Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. Am I right about that?
Yes, correct. Because they were in the first one.
But then also, Lindsay has a kid this time.
Yeah, in the movie.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Because she's like 40 years old now.
So yeah,
right?
now the three of them, I think, all trade somehow. All three are involved.
It'll
that
make
sounds
sense.
delightful.
I can't wait. Jenny and I should go.
I'm down.
Okay.
Sabrina Carpenter covered It's Raining Men at Primavera Sound in Barcelona. So here's a little clip of Sabrina Carpenter.
It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna let myself get absolutely soaking wet.
Nice.
Okay, enough.
That was actually good
I was
audio.
gonna say, she sounded really good.
She did.
Yeah.
Usually concert audio sounds like somebody recorded it from the back on their phone. So this is Olivia Rodrigo and David Byrne doing Burning Down the House. Now, who is David Byrne? He is the lead singer of the Talking Heads that they did Burning Down the House back in about 1981 or so. But here he is with Olivia Rodrigo. Okay, that's kind of cool. If you remember that old song. Miley Cyrus got bullied into singing by dumb fans at a film festival.
Yeah, this was stupid. So she was doing a premiere for her. She has a movie to go with her album that she just dropped. And there were a bunch of fans. Afterward, they're doing a Q&A. And then they started heckling her because they thought it was a concert. Here's the clip.
Oh.
This is the type of the film festival.
Are you actually gonna sing?
You decided.
Okay, somebody obviously recorded that song on a potato because I can't understand a word that they are saying.
So they were. Aren't you gonna sing?
Yeah, they said, we thought this was a concert. We paid $800. Are you going to sing? Again, this was her Q&A for a movie screening. And then they started heckling, and she was like, I guess if you want me to sing The Climb, you have to start it. It was just annoying because that wasn't what she was there to do.
Yeah.
And she was like,
But they thought it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people defended it by saying they bought it from like resellers, and that's how they thought they were that's what they thought they were going to.
That's on them, bro.
I'm sure that Dave's Instagram feed wasn't filled with this, but mine was on Saturday that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce attended a wedding of his cousin in Nashville.
Nope, did not see it.
And so there were so many pictures of all the tabloids of them at the wedding. And one Swiftie tweeted, if Taylor Swift had been a guest at my wedding, I would simply be insufferable. And the album world would just, or her wedding album would just be pictures of me with her. Can you
No
imagine?
husband, no
like,
dad.
forget the groom. I don't care. Taylor, get over here. You're in, hold my bouquet. We're in every picture together.
I actually get that. That is kind of funny. I get that.
And it was the Tonys yesterday night, which is the celebration of Broadway musicals. I won't say too much about them because not everybody loves Broadway, but Nicole Scherzinger won Best Actress, and she's from the Pussycat Dolls, and she is in Sunset Boulevard, the musical, which is apparently really, really good. And Darren Criss won a bunch of Tonys. Cynthia Erivo hosted. I'm sure you can stream it, and you should, because it was really entertaining. A lot of great singing happening, especially by Cynthia Erivo if you like Wicked.
She's everywhere now. And it's
She
funny
is.
because I feel like Ariana Grande, who's also in Wicked, hasn't booked much of anything since Wicked dropped.
What do you mean? Yes, she has.
Not
She's
acting.
had music out, and
Not
she's
acting.
been. No, she was. Oh gosh, what was she in? She was just in talks to play some big character in something. Hold on, we covered it in Dirt.
But Cynthia Erivo has booked like 5 things since the first Wicked movie came out.
She's also like Broadway royalty, Cynthia Erivo. So she like hosted yesterday, which is why she was singing so much.
She's going to be in Meet the Fockers, Jenny.
Yes,
what you're talking
that's what it was.
Who
Yeah.
is Ariana Grande?
She's-
I heard that. Yeah.
Well, maybe they don't. Or did they confirm that they are? That she is?
I don't know.
Okay, well, whatever. I think they're in talks of her being in it, and she said that she would be totally down if they did want her to.
Also, apparently, Ryan Gosling is going to be in a new Star Wars movie. Very exciting for me. I love Ryan Gosling and Star Wars, in a movie called Star Wars Starfighter, which will open in 2027. So we have a ways, but apparently Mia Goth is playing the villain in Ryan Gosling's Star Wars movie.
I don't watch Star Wars, but I would maybe watch that just because he's the best Ryan.
He is.
I get confused now if it's Ryan Gosling or Ryan Reynolds that we don't like as much anymore.
Ryan Reynolds is who we don't like.
Yeah, he's kind of...
Ryan Gosling is the best Ryan, and Chris Pine is the best Chris.
Oh, that's a hot take. People are
Mhm.
going to argue with that one, Bailey.
I know, but I like to be wild and crazy and cool.
I would go Chris Pratt as the best Chris.
Chris
Dave?
Pratt's the bad one.
Dave, which one do you want to have sexual relations with of all the Chris's?
Well,
There's
I'm
Chris
sorry. I
Hemsworth.
moved on to another story about Miss Rachel. So
Okay.
we're going to talk about Miss
bummer.
Rachel for just a second.
Hi. Hello. Peekaboo. Where's Miss Rachel? Peekaboo. Can you do that? Peekaboo.
I think there's nothing more adorable than a little kid walking around with a Miss Rachel doll because it's just so cute. It's just like they love Miss Rachel.
My niece loves her.
Olivia Munn said, my kids ain't watching that garbage. They ain't watching Blue's Clues neither. And she did say neither, which I said was grammatically incorrect. Why? She said, I can't stand it. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life going crazy. These kids' shows drive me crazy.
What else are they supposed to watch? 24? Lost?
20.
Come on.
That's part of the hazards of being a parent.
Yeah.
When Carson was little, it was The Wiggles and Bob the Builder. Allison was Disney sing-alongs and Barney. And I think Allison's girls are Bluey and Peppa Pig.
Yeah.
And Miss Rachel for sure.
I love Miss Rachel.
I don't think I've ever met 3 people that talk about the Wiggles more than the 3 of you, because we had a work dinner the other night and there was probably a 15-minute conversation about the Wiggles. Bailey's talking about which one was the hottest.
Yeah.
Von's talking about he wants to be what?
Because I said Dasha was part of the Wiggles because now they have like female Wiggles, and I was convinced I'd be the first black Wiggle when I was a kid. You couldn't tell me I wasn't going to be.
To our shoulder. Should we try to put it on our head?
Oh, you're playing 2 things.
Oh, hold on.
Wiggly party.
Wiggly party. That's great.
Wiggly party.
Step, step, step. Clap, clap, clap. Wiggle your hips just like that.
Captain Feathersword.
The friendly pirate.
Carson had a Captain Feathersword feather sword.
It was so cool. And at Six Flags in New Jersey, they had Wiggle World as part of the...
What?
Yeah, so you used to go there. They had Wiggle Rides, and sometimes like Dorothy the Dinosaur, Captain Feathersword, and them would come out and do like a little dance party. Oh,
Let me tell you, when your kids are going through that phase and they love that stuff and it drives you crazy, enjoy it. Soak it in, because within a few years or less, that Miss Rachel doll will be upside down in the back of the closet. The Captain Feathersword sword will be donated or thrown in the garbage, and just enjoy and soak in. You're gonna miss this. You're gonna want this back.
You're gonna hope someday it didn't go by so fast. These are some good times, so take a good look around. You may not know it now, but Dave,
you're gonna miss this?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Can't believe we broke into that song at the same time.
Oh, gosh.
But you are, and you know it, and you try to soak it in. The only thing is you can't stop time. Here it comes. There it is. The moment is there, and now it's gone. The moment is there, and now it's gone. So soak it in. The Dirt is brought to you by Captain Feathersword and 612 Injured. Heimer and Lammer's Injury Law. We'll be right back on KDWB.
Here's something I really believe in. Self-care isn't selfish, which is why you got to hit up Ideal Image and try Cool Sculpting.
My wife did Cool Sculpting at Ideal Image. Very pleased with the results. You basically freeze away stubborn fat with Cool Sculpting. There's no needles, no downtime. And if you look online, over 60,000 5-star reviews. Or you can call my wife, Susan, and see what she thought, and she'll give you a good review for Cool Sculpting as well.